apparently, as a tradition for VTubers on Twitter, sometimes they just pop the hell off, and we're seeing a situation here where a whole VTuber agency actually completely masked off. My God, this is looking cooked. This is looking real bad. We gotta take a look at this.
Hey, what's up guys, REV here. So today we're going to be looking at a situation involving a VTuber agency and some drama involving its members.
Classic.
Now, because this story is a bit convoluted, I want to give you guys a too long didn't read version of events to serve as a sort of roadmap for what we're looking at here. So basically, we have this VTuber agency who has a history of greedy business practices. Recently, there was a leak where there was a document shared that allegedly belongs to this organization that shows a assembly line of VTubers in their agency who will be announcing that they're leaving the company in the near future. Well,
yeah. That is it. Niji you would not see this with Niji. I mean, you have had mask off moment with Niji, and I would not say that an org with 9,000 followers. Funny enough, just the org itself, if they have 9,000 followers, I would not call them complete known names, but I'm not completely sure about this agency itself.
Some of those start turning out to be true based on this leaked document, and a YouTuber decides to start investigating by looking at a graduation announcement stream from one of those VTubers on that list. What ends up happening is that stream was immediately privated because they found out the YouTuber was watching, and then that member of the agency decided to make a call-out post against those actions, which then led to a bunch of harassment and even death threats from fans and even other members of the agency. So as you can see, it's quite a mess. So let's begin with the agency itself and the history they have that caused a lot of controversy. So you have V&U Official, the VTuber agency, Virtual and Universe, VTuber and U, whatever that means. But last year, they found themselves in some big controversy because of this former member named Amano Sarafi.
So they are very small.
As you can see, they have graduated. Their accounts are all shut down. Well, what happened is back in March, there was a series of announcements from V&U because basically this VTuber had gone pretty much silent on their accounts. They come out and say that basically there's issues between them and Sarafi.
That remind me of that movie, fucking Cake. That movie made me sad.
And they're going to have to take legal action against her. Then a few days later, they make another announcement saying that they're terminating the contracts of Amano Sarafi, and also they try to basically throw her under the bus and say that she was difficult to work with, and they tried to basically come up with a plan. They're trying to give her a number that she would have to pay in order to leave and all this stuff. Well, unfortunately,
you know what's so funny about this is that I have taken myself a break from VTuber drama for a bit, and I've not been on Twitter for like 3 months, I think, like more than 3 months. And it's so funny to me that we cover a lot of VTuber drama, and I feel like I see the same pattern all the time. It's always the same thing, and I'm saying the same thing I've covered like 50 times. It is crazy how these VTuber orgs are doing exactly the same thing after each other. I feel like at some point you realize and you look at your surrounding and you think to yourself, wait a moment, perhaps this is not a fucking good idea. Maybe I shouldn't pop off this song. Maybe I should calm down.
Fortunately for them, this whole series of posts would blow up in their face because Amano, on her past life account, basically the account she used before she moved over to the agency account, is now free to talk about this because the contract is terminated. There's no longer an NDA that she's going to respect. So she goes on this account, Alien Mixture, which she's active on these days, and she shared a Google Doc sharing everything that was going on with this dispute with the company. And also, allegedly, there was a document, a VTuber contract from the agency shared with Legal Mindset, who is a channel we have talked about even very recently on this channel for his coverage of the Johnny Somali trial.
Legal Mindset puts his nose in all VTuber stuff. He's a very big VTuber fan.
But the contract is absolutely insane. One of the greediest, shadiest contracts. Very, very weird stuff. There's a non-compete clause and an NDA for 3 years after the termination of the contract. But this one kills me, right? If this agreement is terminated for cause by fault of broadcaster agrees to pay back all compensation they've received plus direct expenses incurred for the performance of VTuber work, replacement personnel input costs, and damages. If they can't calculate a total for that, the company can choose 5 times compensation received.
Dude, this company better pay a lot. Wait, what does it say for the first 4 months? I assume it's period of after signing the agreement before debut. Broadcaster is paid 500 USD a month for the first 3 months, and then 2,500 USD for the last month. Income after a specific agreement, but rather shall determine through mutual consultants. Are you kidding me? This is nothing. Bro, this ain't paying my fucking grocery bill I'm about to go in for in an hour. What is this? This is pocket chains. How can you have such outrageous agreements for nothing? If you're gonna be listen, this is insane. You should not do this. But if you want to be crazy, okay, it's the same with a job. If a job want to pop off and it want to exhaust you and it want to be have a lot of maintenance, you know, they better pay you well. And you're not paying well with this shit.
So if you can't figure out the exact number you need to pay them, they'll make one up for you, and then they'll multiply it by 5 and you have to pay it. Absolutely insane stuff. But yeah, that's what she was facing. Here's a video from False ID going in detail about all this, and she shared some of this information on stream, on her past life account, and also shared some of these documents publicly. And basically what happened is, in the final 2 months of her active times with the company, she was not compensated at all for those 2 months, including during that time a birthday subathon where she made around $4,000, where she didn't receive a single penny from that stream or anything from the final 2 months.
What?
So she basically...
Oh, so they, on top of it, they take your earnings. I feel so bad for the VTubers that are completely young and have no idea what's going on in their life or in the industry or anywhere when it comes to the web, because they're being taken so much advantage of. They should, your donation should never go to the company at all. This is insane. I understand merch sales. I get that. I get that, but your donation and subs should never be shared with the company. That's crazy.
Reasons like that and some creative differences and all that and wanting to move on, she tells them that she wants to break her contract and leave the company. Well, they say, cool. We'll do that under one condition. You have to pay us a certain amount of money, some compensation. That compensation being the equivalent of 455,000 US dollars.
You fucking on crack.
So basically they said, you have to pay that, then we'll let you leave, which is insane, obviously. So she asked for an itemized list of everything, and they obliged. They sent her an itemized list that was shared publicly, and it's absolutely insane. So besides the greatly exaggerated costs and things like that, there was also some business expenses that had nothing to do with her. They're basically trying to pass on their own bills to her. But the most outrageous part, just to give you an idea of how insane this list is.
Imagine being told you need to quit your job in the West. Yeah, that would never happen. But like, I can understand breaking a contract, but like the reason why we have these kind of ideas is because people are putting up with this. This shouldn't be the case at all. This is insane. I mean, I know there's some Asian countries where you got to pay to like quit a job early, but like this doesn't really work for most in the West. This is insane.
There were parts listed as etc., demanding tens of thousands of dollars. They couldn't even make up a reason for that money. They just said for etc. Absolutely insane stuff. So basically she lawyers up, and her lawyer can't even believe what he's seeing. Basically,
yeah, you put this in front of a normal human that is not in this chamber, and you will see they will be shocked that this is even happening. They will think this is a joke. It's insane. And I think that's also the reason why I like the thing is that I love a lot of VTubers. I love a lot of VTubing things, but I think you realize a lot about the scene and a lot about like these companies as well, is that it feels like you're jumping into a playground filled with high schoolers. High schooler that are setting up businesses, and high schooler that are trying to push other people down to get more popular. And it feels like just a brawl of high schoolers everywhere, and it's quite exhausting. And it definitely is very shameful to see those people that just want to have fun and hope that to have a company behind them that can back them up for the projects, and just see that they're being fully taken advantage of. Because again, all of this should just be for fun. and to create entertainment and have a make somebody else's day better. And their days feels a lot better when they're doing this as well. But it just get corrupted with all of this nonsense.
It looks like they had a PR team and a legal team that they found off of Craigslist. Like, it's absolutely insane how they're running this company. And the lawyer tells, now of course, Alien here, that you're not going to pay anything. And that's duh. And they basically told this company that you have to come to the United States if you want to pursue any sort of action there, because you don't like that she's breaking the contract. And of course, we know that they didn't do that. She's back on her past life account making content. And basically, it was a really bad look for the company. That's basically why I'm telling you this. I'm laying out the type of company we're dealing with here. And now we're going to look at the dysfunction among some of its members. So what happened recently that generated all this? Well, it largely began with Legal Mindset once again. So apparently someone in the company is leaking documents to Legal Mindset, and some of them are a very bad look for the company. As he says here, leaked VNU graduation schedule looking very Niji Sanji. And you can see in here, there's basically an assembly line of graduation announcements and graduation streams. And if you're not familiar with what graduation means in VTubing terms, it just means you're leaving the company. Okay, so it seems very odd that they have this assembly line of people leaving and it's all pre-scripted. It's just a very odd look. And seeing this list, a YouTuber by the name of Rima Evenstar, someone I highly recommend, she saw this and said, I'm going to do a little research on this and see what's going on with this company, because some of the names on that leaked document list, they were following through on those specific dates. They were starting to make their graduation announcements. It seems like the list is accurate. So she decided to basically tune in for one of these graduation announcement streams from one of the people listed. And things are going fine, but all of a sudden, the stream just goes away. The stream has been privated and taken down mysteriously. And that stream belonged to this Spectra Libitina individual who was on that list, like I said. And after they privated the stream, they decided to make this post right here, basically calling out Rima based on the circumstances we just saw, but also on the further circumstances we're going to look at in just a second, where she says, maybe read the caption next time. Please remember to be respectful to the talents.
Why did you stop the stream specifically for her? Huh?
And basically what she's saying here is this line in the top of the description prevents anyone from publicly reacting to the announcement, because it says, please do not reproduce this stream without permission. Thank you. Which is an insane thing to try to do. Number one, they don't understand the words they're trying to use here. Reproduce is not the same as react. Reproduce means you're just downloading their stream and then re-uploading it with no changes.
Exactly.
That's reproducing in this sense of content creation, right? But what they're trying to refer to as reactions, right? They're trying to refer to people reacting to...
Do not cover this stream. Do not cover this stream at all. That's what you're looking for. You don't want any coverage. Reproduce is a different thing. Restreaming, re-uploading. Coverage is completely different. And again, this is the dumb shit about Twitter. Dude, I've been gone for 3 months. I'm already tired of looking at this. It's this whole discussion is moronic. I'm sorry to say. This whole post is so idiotic. It's so annoying to see, because like this is the whole point of this is to cause a ruckus. All of this is just for people to get riled up and mad, because you know exactly what will happen. You could have sent this DM directly to them. You could have messaged them and said, hey, I was not a fan of you reacting to it, and that's why we stopped. Could you please not do that next time we do this? And this whole thing will be done. But because you made this publicly, you want to have like a bunch of crackos go crazy on Rima. And I bet that's what we're going to see more of, huh?
Their content.
I bet $100 that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see now Rima's gonna get a lot of negative attraction. That's probably what we're gonna see.
And of course, that is fair use. You are
and they all know what the fuck they're doing.
Someone's public stream. That's 100% fair use. And basically, they're trying to control the fair use rights of other people by putting this in their description, which, by the way, means absolutely nothing. That does not prevent someone from reacting to this. And as it turns out, Rima didn't even see this, which, again, it doesn't matter if she saw it or not, because this doesn't
She will know.
mean anything. But this whole thing's very odd, because the community, at least at first, was looking at this and saying to the people who said, well, that's, you know, your legal right to react to this. And they would say, well, it's still disrespectful. No, quite frankly, I think it's very disrespectful to make this post that's clearly very snarky.
Exactly.
And trying to tell people what they can or can't react to.
Thank you. Exactly. It is, because you know what they're trying to make out of this, man. There's nothing positive from this.
I think that is pretty disrespectful. And on top of that, she wasn't reacting to the stream in a negative way. She was an impartial person just seeing what's going on with this agency and just
and that's she's a VTuber that covers VTuber news. So if she's doing a stream and just checking out what's going on here just to see if there's something to cover, shouldn't be anything bad about it. If she didn't even cover it, if she just looked at it, glanced at it, and was like checking out what's happening, I don't see what's wrong. Why are you being so hysterical?
Happened to be live streaming her reaction, but nope. They had this crash out, and this would lead to a lot of people threatening Rima because they knew it was her based on the circumstances, and things would go completely haywire. So other members of VNU would start making comments, including this Misma individual. They said this at the same time the previous post was made, saying this: just landed the craziest stream snipe of my life. And someone says, was it tens? And then she says, horse down, which is, of course, referring to Rima. She started off as a horse-themed VTuber. That's what she's always referred to as. So they were clearly talking about Rima with this comment, but this one is not even anywhere near the comment made, or series of comments made, by this Tomomi individual, who really went full edgelord here, saying this clearly in response to what happened, saying, why do quote-unquote journalists never do the bare effing minimum anymore? Hanging and quartering all drama tourists.
Wow. Wow. This is exactly what I mean with high school nonsense. Like, everybody has this high school mindset. I wonder when these VTubers realize that their small following, they don't have a small following because they're not being hateful enough. There's other reasons to it. But they're constantly trying to get like some kind of attraction by being hateful, to create a witch hunt, to be negative toward other people. And this is not really the way to go. But you see this way too often. 3,000, another 3,000, and it's like, and you're behind a VTuber corp. I mean, why are you being so hateful? Why don't you just be nice to people? Talk to people directly if there's something wrong. Why are the biggest VTubers are the most respectful one, but the smaller ones are always the most chaotic ones? And I feel like it's so sad to see, because it brings a bad name for anybody that joins into the community and anybody that are viewing it from an outside perspective, because this is fucking insanity. This is heinous. And people would rather just stay far the fuck away.
Quote, journalists never do the bare effing minimum anymore. Hanging and quartering all drama tourists. So let's just back up here for a second. So number one, they're basically saying if you're a drama YouTuber, you need to be tortured and killed. But in this context, it's even more insane. They're saying that Rima should be hanged and quartered because she publicly reacted to a public stream in an impartial way. That means someone should be tortured and killed. I don't know what's going on with people on the internet and why they're...
The bigger one being respectful is the reason they usually become big, and smaller one takes what little power they get and run a mile. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with some professionalism or being some decency, but the ones that are definitely that are always jealous or on the hateful end, they will push people away, always.
So publicly unhinged like this. But yeah, Just like the previous tweet, by the way, this one would be swiftly deleted, and whether or not it was their own choice.
I think it's crazy that asking for people to just be direct with each other personally, like in the private manners, and being kind to each other in a space meant to be entertaining is too much to ask. Because clearly for a while it's been it definitely is.
Or their management told them to. It doesn't really matter. They were, of course, deleted. Now this is where Parrot comes in, who's also a content
another
creator,
drama
talks
one.
about VTuber news and drama.
He covers stuff.
He would make this post essentially calling out all the individuals who said these things, these 3 members of VNU. And of course, Tomomi would take the bait with another now deleted tweet saying, okay, I hope this helps entertain you. Please enjoy. Which is a very snarky, again, entitled type of response that started off nice with all the reaction from their community, but eventually people outside of it see this and they see what she's mocking, which is the hanging and quartering comments that she made directed towards Rima, and they go, whoa, what is your deal? Like, what is genuinely wrong with you? And this would, of course, blow up in her face. And then Rima would decide, based on all of this nonsense that had transpired over the past day or so, she would go live to talk about this in a quick 10-minute stream. And this is where the damage control starts. So then this Tomomi individual, in another now deleted reply, would basically say that she DM'd Rima personally to try to clear things up, but she ignored it, went live, and then stopped me from being able to comment in her stream. Well, this is kind of crazy, this last part. Like I said, the stream was 10 minutes, and clearly this person didn't even watch the 10 minutes, because at the very beginning, Rima said, I'm turning off the chat on my end so I don't get distracted while I talk about what I need to talk about. So this doesn't even make any sense. And this beginning part about being ignored, who knows, maybe it wasn't even seen, but why does anyone owe you a response? Like, when you tell someone they deserve to be hung and quartered, do you think they should give you the time of day to hear you out? Absolutely not. But again, like I said, the damage control would continue. As pointed out here, she would actually go into the stream and say, hi Rima, smiley face. I sent you a DM about this a while ago, just wondering if you saw it. And then you can see Kenny here replying saying, from hanging and quartering to hi Rima, smiley face is crazy. And Tomomi says, can someone tell me where I threatened Rima specifically? It's so childish. It's so obvious who you're talking about. And the fact that they're kind of just doubling down, be like, nuh-uh, you can't prove I was talking about Rima. Of course you were talking about Rima. You know, the only thing more cowardly than deleting all these tweets is trying to basically back away from it. Like, if you want to say outrageous, crazy shit on the internet and direct it towards other content creators engaging in fair use coverage, at least say it with your chest and don't be like this, trying to snake your way out of it and avoid any sort of consequences. But of course, like I said, Rima would react in this stream. Like I said, it's only about 18 minutes. I lied, 18 minutes long, where she talks about what's going on, shows more screenshots, and the amount of people in the community supporting Tomomi after making those outrageous comments, encouraging her, saying she's not in the wrong. Even someone down here saying that we should eat people like Rima. Like, a very bizarre community. That's all I can say. People were absolutely going nuts in the replies about the initial tweets, in the replies about Rima responding to all this stuff. And even I responded very briefly in some various threads about what's going on, and I got death threats. As you can see, this post violated the X rules. And you can tell I take these things very seriously, but it's like you kicked a hornet's nest of spurgs. Like, you call out these people from this agency and there's like death threats flying around everywhere. These people are very, very strange. I don't know what kind of group of people they fostered, but yeah, they're quite unhinged. And all of this is over some of the weirdest stuff. Again, remember where we started. A YouTuber reacting to a public stream impartially. And we end up with all of this. It's really insane and cringe how all these people are acting just because they...
It is definitely blown up, but they clearly have an agenda and they try to fulfill. It's just disgusting.
They're so mad about drama tubers and all of this stuff. And I saw so many people reacting to this and trying to justify threats against people for covering things they don't like. It's so childish and annoying, and it's not going to stop anyone from doing it. It probably just encourages people like me to do it anyways. Because honestly, I didn't even see any of this. I didn't see any of the leaked documents. I didn't see the graduation announcements. I didn't even really know who this...
I bet nobody would fucking know at all. Nobody gave a shit until everybody went crazy.
Agency was, until I saw the hanging and quartering comment posted. And that's what started. So if you want to be mad about people like me covering this, I only noticed because of the unhinged comments. And I said, okay, at that point, I'll talk about this because this is insane. But anyways, that's not the end of it. Legal Mindset apparently has a bunch of other leaks. And according to another one, apparently they're losing investors over these situations, especially the leaks. Because
they got investors?
Investors are starting to lose their confidence in the company. And man, they should lose a lot more when they see how the actual VTubers themselves are acting.
That's surprising.
Definitely not a good situation for them. And it's hard to feel bad, especially for the management, given their history and everything that's going on here. But yeah, that's pretty much the situation. Very messy, like I said, but just another case of people being very unhinged and VTuber agencies being completely unlikable whatsoever. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
I mean, like, what's new? But what's new? Again, another VTuber company pops off, and a bunch of weirdos on Twitter are going crazy, spurring death threats, being a nuisance, and just generally trying to spur things up just for our own little likes and attractions or people interest, like people engagement. Nothing new. Happens all the time. It's so tiresome and exhausting. I bet a lot of people are exhausted by this. But you tell me down below what you think. Have you heard anything interesting recently? If you know something good has happened in the VTuber community recently, please tell me down below. Like the video if you enjoy it. Sub to the channel if you want to watch more. And if you want to join me live, you're free to come by my Twitch channel on twitch.tv/Adley. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow or in the next video. Have a good one, y'all. Peace. Bye.